Iran is breaking, slowly, visibly, and dangerously. From Tehran's main squares to provincial towns, chants of death to the dictator now target the very core of the Islamic Republic. This is no longer a protest against prices or policies. It is a direct challenge to Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and to the system built after 1979. Today we decode why Iran is erupting again, why the Pahlavi name has returned to the streets, and what this movement means for the region, for India, and for the world. This is Aarambh Times. Why are Iranians on the streets? Iran has seen protest before, but this wave feels different. The anger is deeper, the slogans are sharper, and the fear is fading. By early 2026, demonstrations driven by economic collapse have transformed into open demands for regime change. Security forces have responded with live ammunition, mass arrests, and nationwide internet shutdowns. When a state turns off the internet, it is no longer confident, it is afraid. To understand why, we must rewind history. From monarchy to revolution, how Iran arrived here. In 1925, Reza Shah Pahlavi took power and founded modern Iran's monarchy. His rule focused on centralization, secular law, infrastructure, and national identity. Clerical power was curtailed, the state became dominant. In 1953, Iran's trajectory shifted dramatically. After Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh nationalized oil, the United States and Britain orchestrated a coup, and that is called Operation Ajax. The Shah was restored, but Iranian trust in democracy and foreign powers collapsed. The White Revolution of 1960s brought education, women's rights, and urban growth, but also repression. Political dissent was crushed, inequality widened, society modernized faster than politics allowed. By 1979, the system cracked. The revolution that changed everything. The Iranian Revolution was not born as religious uprising. It united clerics, leftists, liberals, students, workers, and traders, all opposing authoritarian monarchy. Ayatollah Ruhollah Khamenei emerged as the unifying symbol. The Shah fled, the monarchy ended, but what replaced it was not a democracy. Iran became a theocratic republic where ultimate authority rested with an unelected supreme leader reshaping the state permanently. How power actually functions in Iran. Iran's system appears republican. In reality, it is hierarchical. Elections exist, but candidates are filtered. Parliament debates, but within limits. Presidents govern, but without final authority. Real power lies with three pillars: the supreme leader, clerical oversight bodies, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps or IRGC. The IRGC is not just a military force, it is political actor, an intelligence agency and an economic empire. It survives when the system survives. This structure explains why dissent rarely translates into reform. A system under total pressure. Today's unrest is not triggered by a single event. It is the result of simultaneous failures, an economic crushed by sanctions and mismanaged, a currency that has lost credibility, youth locked out of opportunity, women restricted in daily life, a ruling elite seen as detached and insulated. This is what political scientists call a legitimacy collapse, when a state governs by force rather than consent. The economy, where patience finally snapped. Iran's rial has collapsed in value. Official exchange rates are fiction. Real market prices tell the truth. Inflation has eaten savings, food prices have surged, medicine is scarce. For many families, survival is now a daily calculation. When economic pain becomes permanent, protest becomes inevitable. Society under strain. Iranian society has lived under control for decades. But pressure accumulates. Compulsory hijab laws, speech restrictions, limited political choice, digital surveillance. The 2019 fuel protest and the 2020 Mahsa Amni movement were warning. This wave builds on them broader, angrier, and less afraid. The message is no longer reform, it is rejection. Why the Pahlavi name has returned? Protesters chant Reza Shah bless your soul. This is not a call to restore monarchy. It is nostalgia for a secular functioning state, real or imagined. Reza Pahlavi, grandson of the founder and son of last Shah, now speaks from exile. He calls for non-violent resistance and unity. But the streets are not asking for a king, they are asking for dignity. How the regime responds? The response has been familiar and brutal. Security forces flood streets, arrest follows, internet goes dark. Iran increasingly resembles a digitally sealed state during unrest, controlling not just bodies but information. And force has become governance. Why this matters beyond Iran? Iran is not isolated. It influences conflicts across West Asia. It sits at the Strait of Hormuz, a lifeline of global energy trade. Instability here sends shockwaves through oil markets and regional security. What is India's careful calculus? For India, Iran is strategic, not ideological. Chabahar ports offers connectivity beyond Pakistan. Energy ties matter here. Regional instability affects Indian interests from the Gulf to Central Asia, and India must balance relationship, maintaining engagement without entanglement. Is the system close to collapse? There are certain cracks: an aging supreme leader, economic exhaustion, and a society less afraid. But there is also resilience, a loyal security apparatus, no unified opposition, and a long tradition of state survival. Iran does not collapse easily, it erodes. What comes next? Now, three paths we can say remaining: sustained repression and stagnation, a violent rupture, or a slow managed transformation. History suggests Iran chooses endurance over speed. Iran's struggle is not just political, it is civilizational. A clash between a revolutionary state and a society that has outgrown it.